everybody, Wayne back here with another update. So I promised I'd keep you updated with all the new developments in Steam. I'm afraid because of a few changes in regards to Udemy and their free courses, I won't be able to do too many more of these updates, unfortunately. So if I'm going to do some updates, I'll do it in terms of another course. That would be like a new features kind of course thing. So once I've got enough material, I'll go ahead with that. But anyway, for this video, I want to talk about communities. In the previous video, I talked about the release of communities on beta Steemit, and now they've actually been released on Steam, and they are available on both Steemit and SteemPeak. So I'm going to start off with SteemPeak, and I'm going to show you what you can do with communities and what it looks like using the SteemPeak interface. Okay, so let's start with your user page, or I think you call it your channel, depending on which user interface you're using. So you can see here, it looks a little bit different from what I showed you in the previous videos. You can look at the top toolbar. You can see up there, there's communities with a little drop down. I'm going to explore that in a moment. We've got feeds. So now it's not only just your feeds, you have the people that you follow and your favorite people and stuff that you had in the previous version of SteemPeak, but you can also have a feed for the communities that you're following. So you'll see posts of people that, may not necessarily be your favorites or people that you're following, but they're posting within the community. So it's sort of a content relevant sort of search function, should we call it. If we go down a little bit further, you can see under followers, I got there 363 followers. You got a little badge there. So now SteemPeak have got badges. So I've got ThreeSpeak. You also got other badges. I think you got for Steam Leo, DTube, etc., etc. And there's certain requirements that you need in order to get those badges. So that, again, is another new feature of SteemPeak. Because of the communities, they've split blog and all post into two. So blog is just the posts that you put to your blog that are not in any of the communities, whereas all posts contain posts in your blog, as well as posts that you've posted to communities, as well as posts that you've cross-posted. And I'll talk about cross-posting a little bit later on. Also, because of all this additional information, we've got an others drop-down. You can see there after replies or these comments. You click on that, and there's a whole load of other features under there, such as activity, wallet, and a few other things as well. Further over to the right, you can see you've got filter, so you can then filter through what is your resteam or hidden posts. And also you've got your various different formats. As you can see, you can have it as like a little bar showing what it is, be similar to what's on Steemit, or you can have it in terms of these little blocks that we've got here, which is, I think, the preferred for a lot of people experience on SteemPeak. So on to communities now. So you can see in your top toolbar, there is the communities drop down. So we got all communities. So you'd go there and you can see all of the communities. I think it's just names of the communities, and you click on it, enter that way. Below that, you have my communities. That's the communities that you've already signed up to. So you can see I've signed up to several. I've got economics, ThreeSpeak, ActiveFit, education, and a few vegan ones. The top one there, economics, I'll explain a bit more later. That is actually my own community that I've created, and I'll show you a few of the different things you can do with that. So let's enter communities on SteemPeak. You can see here there's 3 areas it's been broken down into. So the top ones are my subscriptions. So these are the communities I've already joined in one form or another. So that could be, I could be the owner, the admin, a guest, or a member. There's lots of different types. I'll be talking about that later. Below that are featured communities. I'm not sure how a community becomes featured. It may have to do with certain popularity or certain connections they have with SteemPeak. I'm not sure. And then below that, we have popular communities. And then you can scroll all the way down. As you keep going down, I think you'll, I think they have all of the communities on there, but they have the most popular communities towards the top. But I think there might be other ways of sorting through how you want to find your communities. In fact, you can see there we got a filter button. So you can actually enter something on filter, and you can get a particular topic, and I'll explain that a little bit later. So let's enter a community. So this is the ActiveFit community. This is a community that I'm considered a guest, but I've subscribed to it. So I can't do a lot of things on this, so I'm a guest. So in a sense, I can go there, I can post, I can view contact upvotes and all that sort of stuff. So this is what you'll tend to see when you enter community. And this could be any, even if you're not a guest, I think you'd see this. So you can see at the top there, we've got the Activate Community Avatar, the little running man. And below that, we've got the number of subscribers, active users, the number of interactions. I think that would be like the number of comments, upvotes, and things like that. Pending rewards, so I'm not sure if that's the amount or the number of posts that are pending. I think it probably would be an amount. And the language, which is English. Below that, we have posts about subscribers and activities. I've got it under posts, but in terms of about, you actually just go to the right-hand side of the screen, and basically that information is already on there. So it tells you a little bit about ActiveIt, description, what rules they have, as well as the team that are running it. Under subscribers, that will tell you all the people, that will show all the people that have subscribed to this ActiveIt community. And activities basically gives information of when certain things have changed in ActiveIt. Maybe they updated, for example, the description, or maybe they added a new team member. And also, subscription. So it's that sort of thing. So kind of like what you have with your own account. When something happens with this account, it's recorded as an activity. Okay, so let's venture back out into the community's main screen. You can see here I've changed the view. So you've got these little blocks like we've got on your own page. So it looks a little bit different. And this actually provides you a little bit more information, but you don't get as many communities on one page, but you know a little bit more about it. Like, for example, my economics community got 54 subscriptions. We think we got 8 activities, is that, or comments or something along those lines. So it's a little bit more information about the community, and it also contains a description. So if you want to use this view and you want to know a little bit more about the community before you go in, you can just, have a look at the information provided. So next up, I want to show you what this filter can do and how you can actually use the filter to help you find the community you're looking for. So this is the popular communities arranged based on popularity as it is without using the filter. We can now add the filter Bitcoin. So I've entered that. As you can see here, we've now got 5 communities with the word Bitcoin in their title. So with this filter function, and I'll talk about it in the next video, Steemit is a little bit different, but with this filter function, it filters based on what is in the title itself. So there could be some other communities that's got information about Bitcoin, but it doesn't necessarily have it in the title. But anyway, if you want to find Bitcoin or a community it's definitely about Bitcoin because it's in the title, you can use this function. If you want to find out about communities that somehow involves Bitcoin, but maybe other cryptocurrencies as well, maybe you could use the function in Steemit because it's a little bit different. So you can see here, I've now clicked on Bitcoin community, and you enter this community. I'm not a subscriber. As you can see here, the button up there is to subscribe, so I can click on that, and then I'll become a subscriber to the Bitcoin community. So I'm going to leave that as it is, and the presentation, as I mentioned before, whether you're a subscriber or not a subscriber, looks more or less the same. But if you become a subscriber, you get more information about the community, and you get posts on the community appearing in one of your feeds, or community feeds. Okay, so now I've jumped into the community I created, and I actually created this community in the previous video back on beta.steemit. So this is what it looks like now in SteemPeak. So I've done a few different things. I've added a cover image, and I've also included a picture / avatar, as you can see there. Happens to be falling over that guy in the reward pool's face. But anyway, you've got different views. It does look a little bit different. So you can see, again, it looks very, very similar to what you see if you enter community as a guest or just enter just some random community. But there are a few little differences. So you've got the same over here with the description. You've got the posts. You've got about, subscribers, activities. That's all the same. But under write a post, you've got something called actions. So that's a little bit different. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. But first off, I want to talk about what we call your arrangement of the posts within the community itself. So this is a function you can do with all of the communities, but I'm just going to show that while I'm showing my economics community anyway. So I set the default on recent posts. But you can go in there and you can change it to popular, or you can do upcoming payments. These are the posts that are going to pay out fairly soon. And you can also look at the people that have been muted. So that just gives you a different perspective on it. And above, like I mentioned before, there are the 3 different types of views you got there. So that's also the same as well. So now I'm going to talk about actions and what that is and how that is different when it's your community. If you're in someone else's community, that actions button is either subscribe or unsubscribe button. But as this is your own community, I don't think you'd actually want to unsubscribe. Anyway, so you click on the actions button. There's actually an unsubscribe button if you wanted to. Again, it'll be rather strange. But there's 2 other buttons below that are quite important and you want to know a little bit more about. The first one is settings and the next one is edit roles. So I'm going to talk about settings first. For the purpose of this video, I've split the settings page into 2. So you'd either see about or you'd see others. So I split them in 2 so you can see both of them side by side. So what have we got about? So about is the title of your community. So mine is economics. Simple enough, so that can be changed. About, I can change the about description. There's the language. I currently have it in English. I'll keep that in English. I've got description. I've also got the rules. All of this stuff can be updated. You have to bear in mind, though, the owner, which is the actual page, which in the case of mine is hive-112018. That will always remain fixed, and that is also the owner account. So that's the account side of it. But all the peripheral stuff that you can see, most of that can be pretty much changed. So if we go over to others, we can see here we have the picture or the avatar. So I've got the little car, the little Steam car, the little Steam symbol, the blue car. That's we call it the Steam bikini. Below that, that is the background or like the cover image. And that's what I've added in there, the Steam whale, the demand supply graph, and the money. So you can just upload that as you would upload any other picture. You can select your default page. Mine is currently most recent, but you could have the most popular. You could have your own trending page for your community. And there's also some other stuff as well. Photo view, something I haven't really used before. You could try it out. I think it may be more for photography communities. What have we got here? And you've also got an option for Discord. Haven't tried that out yet. I'm not sure what you can do with that. But again, that's interesting as well, though, because some of the bigger communities might want to use Discord and inform the people, the members, through that. And you can have chat and conversations through that. Because communities don't actually have a chat function at this point in time. Again, though, that's something that could change at some point. All right, so let's dive into roles now. So for my community, it's pretty simple. I've got owners and I've got admins. I don't have any mods, moderators, don't have members, and I haven't muted anyone at this point in time. So the owner, that is what I mentioned before. That is a hive, and that is effectively the account that is running the community. And the admin's just myself, Spectrum Econs. And the admin pretty much does most of the running of it. You have access to a lot of different things. If I wanted to add another admin, I'd have to go into the owner mode to be able to do that. But as an admin, I can add mods, members, and I can mute people, you know, if they're breaking the rules or for whatever other reason. So on the toolbar, there is subscribers and activities. I mentioned a little bit about that before. But if you click on subscribers, you can actually see all the people that have subscribed. And I've sort of zoomed out a little bit here. And pretty much that, I think that's all 54 people that were subscribed when I took this screenshot. And you can see their names and you can see their little avatars. And then you can just go click on these and you can actually go and visit their pages as well. So it's useful to know who's subscribed. Next up is the activities page. So I've scrolled down a little bit just to show you a bit of variety here. So it's got information about people subscribing to your community. It's also got information here. You can see where I pinned the post. There's like my welcome post to the community where I explain what my economics community is all about. So I pinned that. So that's a useful option to have. And also it provides information when I've updated it to change the description, for example. And also it's got when I set myself as the admin. So all of these things come under activities. So it's sort of useful to know, especially where I guess it's a record of what's happened within the community itself. So that's more or less what you need to know if you're running your community and you're using the SteemPeak interface to do so. So what's up next? So you know how to navigate to the community. You know how to do the basics behind running a community. Next most important thing, I guess, is posting to that community. And with SteemPeak, it's very easy. You can just go to your own channel if you wanted to. And then you just click on that little pencil image for posting. And you'll have something at the top here where it says, write a new post in. And that could be in my blog, and it would just go straight to your channel and nowhere else. Or you could put it in a community. So you can see here, I've got my economics community, but I could also post into one of the other communities that I've subscribed to. So you can see all the ones down there below. So you get to choose which one you want to put it in. But remember, try and keep it relevant to the community you're posting to if you don't want to get muted. It's also possible that you want to post to several communities, and SteemPeak actually has a feature to do that, and I'll show you that now. SteemPeak have a function known as cross-posting. So I just tried this out. I created a post. I think that one was about housing, I think it was. So I created it just in my own blog, just for the fun of it. And say, okay, so what do I do with cross-posting? Simply, you go in there and there's a little thing at the bottom of the post called cross-post. I'll show that in a second. So you click on that and you get what you get here is this little cross-post thing. So you decide which community you want to cross-post to, and you write a little description in there. As you can see here, this post has been cross-posted to the economics community using SteemPeak. You see us trying it out. But if, for example, I could have just posted directly to the economics community, and it could have had something to do with cryptocurrency, for example. So I could have then cross-posted this to a cryptocurrency community as well. Cross-posting can also be done with other people's content. So, for example, I find something about economics and think, well, this is great, but it's not in my economics community. I can just go and cross-post it and put that in my economics community itself. And by doing that, I think I'll get 5% of the rewards. I think 5% goes to the community account itself, and 90% goes to the owner, and that's done through beneficiaries. So I'll just show you what that looks like in the community itself if it's been cross-posted. So I'm back in the economics community. As you can see here, here's the housing post that was created in my blog. So you can see above there, it's called cross-posted, and it actually has a little message in there as to why it was cross-posted into that. And as simple as that. So you'll be able to identify within the community itself which has been posted directly to the community and which has been cross-posted. And this looks a little bit different in Steemit, and I'll explain that in the next video how that is different. So once you've posted to the community, there's still a few more things you can do with your post. So what you can do is you can go into the post itself. Using SteemPeak, you scroll to the bottom of the post. You'll see the three little dots. You click on that, and this little menu will appear. So you got at the top there, share. So you could share it to Twitter, Facebook, or Reddit. You can add to blog. So for example, you post in the community, you can then add it straight to your blog. It's kind of the reverse of what I did earlier, where I put blog into the community itself. You can cross-post, as I mentioned just now. Bookmark, I described that in a previous video, but that's kind of useful for either your content, other people's content, if you want to find it again fairly easily. Add user to the list. So again, this is someone else's content. I would assume that you're looking at, you think it's really good, you add it to your list, then you can go find that user again, kind of like a favorite sort of thing. You got the same edit function. Pin in blog. So you can pin it to the top of the community itself, like I did with one of my other ones. Promote. This is a function now on SteemPeak where you can actually burn Steam, and depending on how much you burn, you'll get more exposure within the trending page and hot pages. Is it or trend? No, I think it's trending and various different trending pages for different topics. So that's interesting. Oh yeah, got pin in economics. Sorry, so pin in economics is pinning to the community. So pin in blog, that would be pinning to your individual channel itself. And also there's the mute button. So if someone's put something in there that's completely out of context, nothing to do with the community, you don't like it or whatever, you're running it, you want it muted, you can do that. So that is up to you. So there's a lot of different options that you have. Some of these are just for your posts and some of them for other people's as well. So for yours, it's a little bit larger, especially if you're an admin. So there's a lot more things you can do in terms of managing your own community, even directly through the post itself. So that sort of brings me to the end in terms of what I want to talk about with communities and SteemPeak. I've just gone back to the communities again just to show you another view. As you can see, this is the largest view that you have. So you can see the name of the community, the little picture, the little logo, the little avatar that they have. You can find out a little bit more information about it. You can see very clearly now the number of subscribers, the pending rewards, the interactions, and all of that stuff. You can see that through this view as well. So SteemPeak is really good for people, you know, who want to customize their interface. Lots of different ways of looking at it, and that's pretty cool. Since I'm talking about SteemPeak, I just thought I'd quickly mention a few other little features that they added as well, just very quickly. Underneath Explore, I think if you go to the bottom of the Explore drop-down, you can actually get this very interesting, very cool interactive menu, which can actually help you navigate the Steem ecosystem. So you can see all of your things on there, all your various feeds. You can click on topics, you get to see the trending page or the trending page of various different topics. You can see the Steem news relating purely to Steem. You can go into the communities, or you can go into the tribes. You talked about tribes earlier on in another video. We've got badges, which I'm going to show in a moment. That's a new feature. Curators, if you're following a particular curator, you can go there, you can see the stuff that they're curating. You got the search function. Analytics, I haven't actually tried that one out. I think that's analytics in relating to your content, I believe. Witnesses, you can look up the witnesses and the number of votes that they have, and you can use that page for voting on witnesses. You've got proposals, that is SteemDAO, Steem Proposal System. You can look at what people are proposing, whether you want to support that. And you also have a services button that's, again, linked to Steem. I think you'll talk about things like Liquid and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. But before I end up, I just want to talk about badges and what these are all about. So this is a very new feature that SteemPeak's just come out with. It's badges, and I think anyone can come up with a badge. SteemPeak has to approve it for whatever criteria they want to set. As you can see here, like you've got witness badges, so you know immediately if someone's a top 20 witness, they get the top 20 witness badge. You got one for the top 100 witness as well, so it's a good way of identifying particular people. Like I've got the 3Speak user, so you know that I've been using 3Speak. We also got Steem Leo users, as well as you got DTube, so there's lots and lots of different badges. And if you're visiting someone's page or someone's channel, you just have to see these badges, and it gives you a bit more information about their content. And then you can click on these badges, and it will tell you a little bit more about that as well. So again, this is another really cool new feature of SteemPeak, and that's something that they are consistently doing, is updating their page. And if you really like the SteemPeak stuff that they're doing, the new updates, the content and things, you can actually support them using the Steem Proposal System. I think this is still an ongoing thing that you can use your stake, which actually will help fund some of the changes that they're making. So yeah, you know, SteemPeak is a really good user interface for Steem, and one that I'm using a lot of the time now on my computer. So I think it's really good, and they get in there very, very quickly. I think they had communities around almost around the same time as Steemit did. So they're very, very quick at getting updates, and it's a very fresh looking thing. Anyway, this is for people who love SteemPeak. Next video, I'm going to be talking about Steemit and the community on Steemit. It looks a little bit different on Steemit. The user interface is a little bit different. The functions are mostly the same, but I'll go through that in the next video, just so that you know, and then you can decide, you know, whether you want to visit community on SteemPeak or on Steemit, or maybe even both, or go backwards and forwards. Anyway, hope you like this video, and yeah, keep tuned in. Another video coming up soon.